most people know what they want to be at 12 years old. Oftentimes, like, people come alongside and deter that, but it's just like, if I got a dream, I'm not letting go of it, no matter how long it takes.
Hey, this is Gary Brackett, and welcome to another episode of Success Leaves Clues. I am extremely excited, proud, right? Give you a little background. I was like coming home from New Jersey. I had this little theme in my head about undrafted, and then I go on IG. And my guest, right, Mr. Tevin Studdard himself, dropped a song, Walk On Undrafted. You can look at my IG, look at his IG, it's on there. But in addition to that, he's also been doing some jingles for the Coach Greats. He did one about the Indianapolis Zoo. Long's Bakery went viral. So I had to get my man on the show, on the podcast. So, man, I appreciate you stepping in.
Hey, man. So being here.
So tell us a little bit about like your background. Like when did you start like know that you know what I'm saying, you had it in you to kind of spit?
Well, man, music, like being in the 4th grade and watch your cousin win American Idol is crazy.
So who's your cousin? Because some people might have
forgot. Ruben Studdard,
okay.
Sorry for 2004, Velvet Teddy Bear. Yeah. So it's like being in 4th grade, you know, you're a little kid and you watching a cousin on TV, and it's just like, the same last name, chunky, just like you. It just showed me that, all right, it could be a reality, because a lot of kids getting caught up at that age. I feel like it's a lot of street influences that you get and a lot of other things. But it's like, man, you got a cousin that won American Idol, you don't have no excuse no more.
Now, was he from here?
Nah, so my dad's side is from Birmingham. So
okay.
Everybody's from Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, sweet. Nah, that's awesome. I remember that him winning, and definitely he had a long run. Obviously, still going now. So shout out to him. But also, I think we talked about it before the show. You play football.
Yeah, definitely.
So where did you start playing football, and where did you end up at in your high school career?
So started playing at Chris Pasadix in the 8th grade.
Okay.
And, that was the first time ever playing football, and then all I know is I ended up at Cathedral the next year. So it was so crazy. It was just to go from never having played football in my life to going to a powerhouse. Can I get that? Or is it live?
Yeah, you can turn.
I'm like, goodness, who was just like,
hey, my man popping, he getting hit up right now.
I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
It's gonna be lead gen, right? Get your jingles. We're gonna give you information at the end. Nah, but tell me what position you played though.
So I'm playing linebacker coming up. I wore 56. Right then it was like Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
So I wore that because that was the only football player I knew. Because 8th grade I didn't really know. And then I'm like really into the coast. I'm like, man, Gary Brackett, Cato June, like the dogs on the D, Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney. Because in stunts, Mike linebackers can go play a 3 technique, and it's just like to like come up in the city during that time, even be sitting on you with the couch right now, like this is crazy. Like people can downplay this. This is dope. Like this is all. Like I grew up in the city, public school, and then got a scholarship to go to a private school and playing linebacker. Like this is a dope experience. Like I'm truly thankful for it. It's like I'm literally watching y'all on TV growing up, and I'm like, man, them boys some head crackers. Like that's when that defense. It was just like guys like you, Bob Sanders. It was like they would call y'all undersized, but it was like you was still busting heads, laying boys out. We talked about our boy from Tennessee. He still feel you.
No doubt. Definitely knocked him out, and it's crazy. So Bob would always say he started flexing, but I definitely started flexing first after the play, right? So Bob biceps was probably a little bit bigger than mine, right? But the mentality out there was like, yeah, we undersized, but we gonna take your head off if you come across as
dogs, pure dogs.
And I think that whole defense was just built like that, man. We built off speed, built off getting after people, man. So it's funny seeing like people your age in the city that was watching
like kids. We were kids. I'm in middle school playing and like really like looking up to y'all. Like people can downplay because we grown now, but we really look up to these guys. Like we like, man, I want to be like Gary Brackett. I want to be like Cato June. I want to be like. Bob Sanders. People would literally wear their numbers after that. But like being that I had like never played, like I had just. My dad was like, boy, Lawrence Taylor, like, you want to be able to play linebacker, boy, you better rock 56. So it's like I had rocked that, and then, man, but it was crazy. And like, Chris Pasadics, he right downtown from the coast. And I never would have thought I even got to go to a coast game. Like, we come up IPS in the city, public schools.
Right.
So then when I get to Cathedral, it was like they had a parent on the team that was like he was either a strength and conditioning coach for the coast, or he had like marketing exec, Tom Zupancic. And so he bought our whole, he bought our whole team tickets to like a preseason game. And I was like, whoa! It was like it was kind of like you seen the movie Hardball. They say send me, so they're like send me, we like yelling like, oh, this is hard. It was just like some super dope experience to be like, man, guys. We looked up to guys, and these kids been playing football since they was 4 or 5. Like I just started playing last year, and it was a crazy experience.
Not crazy. So Hardball, I will moment of transparency. So on the team, they used to call me G Baby.
G Baby.
After the drink, man.
That's hard.
G Baby ain't make it, man.
Yeah, you ain't going out like G Baby,
man. But that's hard. Nickname from Hardball. So I definitely rocked that movie, man. So after Cathedral, where'd you go to college at? Was it a scholarship?
Yeah. So it's so crazy. So at Cathedral, I wrote my first song. It's called Irish Nightmare. They play it at our games, and someone on the other team started singing it. So I was like, wow, I could do this for other teams. So it had got so big, like I just started linking with guys around the nation. So I wrote a song for the U.S. Army All-American Bowl my senior year of high school. And then they were supposed to have me in Texas, have me perform 2 weeks. Before the game, they sent me like a letter with a squishy football. Said, good luck to you in your career. Well, I was hot. I walked around the whole Cathedral football field. I was literally like, it was snow outside. I was like crying. I was like, I'm going to show them. So Tamika Catchings gave me an opportunity. I sent her a song, and I'm like, maybe she'll listen to it, maybe she won't. She like really loved the song. I was like, if you love it that much, I'll perform it for the Fever. But I was like, you got to give me a word. If it's good enough, I'll get to perform it. It was Conseco Fieldhouse at the time, but now Banker's Life. She was like, you got my word. If it's good enough, you get to perform it. Man, I went in the studio like, just like crazy. So WNBA season is around May at that time.
Right.
And then ISU gets wind of it. They're like, oh, would you like to create a song for a scholarship? So I'm like, wait. So I can go to college to write a song. And I don't got to play no kind of ball no more. Because at this point, it was just like, I like football. We got to be on 2 state championship teams, but I didn't like. I love. It wasn't like a love, because it was like I was way better at music than football. Like I was realistic with myself. Everybody was like, man, I'm going to the league. Yeah. Man, you got Cathedral. I'm teammates with guys like Jack Doyle, guys like Ted Karras, and then who I think was better than both of them was a dude named Kofi Hughes. And I'm like, man, me and Kofi like the same size, but it's night and day. So I'm realistic with myself. I'm realistic with myself. I'm like, all right, man, it might be time to kind of focus on that music. So like,
it's funny. I'm glad you said that, man, because I feel like a lot of younger cats, right, they grew up playing ball or something, and they just everyone else saying they going to the league, so they just like, I'm going to the league too.
It's no realistic,
and it's cool for you to be like, yo, like I ain't it, like
I'm real with myself. I'm like, I'm better at this.
Have a successful life. I can still go do something I'm passionate about. So I'm glad you figured that out.
And it was music, and it was just like to get a scholarship to Indiana State to do a song. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna take care of your house and pay you this stipend and give you this for a song to write lyrics. And some people was mad. They're like, we worked real hard on our education. I got out this 4.6 GPA. He's going to write a song and get to go to school for free. Yeah.
Hey, I tell people, man, it's not an advantage if you don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, you got to. You got to flip every opportunity. Hey, I'm ready to write this song for his movie and his doc. I'm saying this now. I'm ready. You put me in the bed and I want to eat now.
I feel you.
That's what it turned into, a scholarship to Indiana State, where I initially was going to study music business. So Indy started a big article back then. They're like, man, this kid wrote the song for the Fever performing at their games. And then so I was like, I wanted to study music business. And I got to college, I'm like, what can they teach me about music business that I'm not already doing at 18?
Right.
So I was like, let's study PR to see how to manage and how to kind of carry yourself to avoid these pitfalls that a lot of these artists go through. Because I didn't have no team, no management, nothing. So I was like, I'm just representing myself. I was like, I ain't got to split the pie no ways.
Yeah,
but now it's like, in order to elevate, you got to link up with people. And that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, nah, that's dope, man. It's truly inspiring because I'm gonna be honest, like I haven't even seen like the Robert Mathis because you did his. I guess like one of the first ones.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah, and I missed that too. So that was fire. Then the Cato joint was fire. You did the Darius Leonard fire. So it was just crazy. And now you're kind of like flipping it, like you said, and you're transitioning. And where was Long's Bakery at on like the roster? When did you do their?
So we did that. So it's crazy. So April 27th, Monday, April 27th, I'll never forget it. I kind of like, we was grinding at work, like going hard. And I had to literally go to the hospital. I was like, yo, I got to leave. Like my chest feeling just weird. So I went to the hospital and I was in the hospital, just like me by myself. They think, oh, is it COVID? This? And I'm like, I ain't got no COVID. But I don't rock like that. But it was, they said like heart palpitations and something else, just like, kind of going too hard at work, doing a little too much. It was one of them just like, you don't know what kind of state of life is. So working 80-hour weeks, just going grinding crazy. And I'm in the hospital bed and I'm like, man, what you want to really do with your life? You got to, if you were to leave this earth right now, what's your legacy going to be? How you going to do? So that's April 27th, a Monday. So that whole week, I'm just thinking, once I get out of the hospital, I'm just thinking like, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Then I'm like, Wednesday, they said Longs is opening back up. I was like, whoa, okay. I was like, man, I can't wait to have some Longs. I'm going to be the first person in line. And I noticed, like, anytime somebody makes a status about Long's Bakery, everybody just gravitates to it. So I'm just like, something just clicked. Like, they opened Friday at like 5 or 5:30. So Thursday night, it had to be like 7. I was like, why not just write a Long song? I'm like, what can I lose from it? What can I just do something? So a couple bars that came together like real quick. So I called my producer. I'm like, yo, man, I got to get in the studio tonight. He's like, hey, can we get in there tomorrow? I was like, I got to get in the studio tonight. He's like, all right, so we get in the studio and another artist has a session at 11. So we get in there at 10:30. He's like, all right, we take us 10 minutes to set up. I recorded everything in 5 minutes. It took him like 15 minutes to mix and master. That next morning, man, I called my videographer. I'm like, bro, meet me outside of Longs at 5 a.m. He's like, what we doing? I was like, meet me outside Longs at 5 a.m. We wait in line for an hour. And I predicted, because I had been viral before, so I'm like, maybe 100,000 views. Then it started 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. I'm like, what? Over some donuts? It's like, my city just love donuts. I feel like it's a big, iconic spot in the city. Sure. So it was like, do 800,000 and then just opportunity after opportunity after that. So it's just like, I'm here with Gary Brackett on the couch right now. You could have told me this on April 27th.
But the crazy thing is like, it's this quote that most people like are sitting around waiting for inspiration. Yeah. But inspiration actually found you when you're actually moving.
Definitely.
Right. So had you not taken that initiative, write the song, do what you need to do,
I wouldn't be on this couch right now.
Right? You still be thinking to yourself, man, what if I do?
What can I do? Yeah, what can I do?
It's amazing, like so many people are waiting and it's like, nah, bro, put out work.
Yeah.
If it's good, then people gravitate to it and that could be a ticket. But you know, son, don't stop waiting and actually start doing. So I'm definitely excited you did that. So so the Colt songs now, so what's next? I saw the other one you did like an Indianapolis Zoo song.
Yeah, we did the Zoo. We're gonna have some.
So we don't have to drop everything.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's gonna drop. So we got some other heat around the season.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. So well, I can't say Visit Indy did a big photo shoot.
Okay, sweet.
And that's so crazy because it's like I seen your thing with Visit Indy and I seen Tamika Catchings. So I'm like, dang. Now this is like 2 people that I got to work with, and now I'm up there with them. Like that's crazy. Like I'm not no athlete, just a little chunky brother from the hood. And on this platform with like legendary people in the culture, so that's humbling. Cause I ain't seen no other rappers or artists on there, so standing out, baby.
Hey, but I think it's this whole notion, man. When you put out good, like you've been doing. I think it just comes back to you tenfold. Definitely. And I think you definitely been using your gift and putting it to work, right? And it's like, you know, and the Bible talks about the 3 talents, right? The 3 guys that they give the talents to. Yeah. And the one guy went out and used them and kind of multiplied, right? And that's what you did with your talent, man. So definitely kudos to you for that. Let's talk a little bit about the business front in terms of, because right now, one of the hottest out there right now, definitely writing tracks, right? And we talked about like the jingles, right? Essentially.
Definitely. So I say, man, that even the jingle, man, it started just watching Jamie Foxx show.
Right.
Like Jingles 2000. I'm like, these guys are in here making these funny little songs, but they getting paid for it.
Right.
So I was just like, it just kind of, for me, it shifted because it's like sports just was my life. So once it was removed from me, kind of, I still want to be around it. So I'm writing these songs for these different colleges from Baylor, USC, Ohio State, Florida, Kansas, Iowa, all these schools, like, then with national championship programs like Penn State girls volleyball, University of Minnesota women's hockey, University of South Carolina girls basketball. They're the number one team in the nation. Performed for them this February. So it's always been just a crazy dynamic to go to a stadium and just hear your song played. Like,
Yeah.
and just like to see these people just rocking out to it. It's like, wow, this is something I wrote in my room. And it's getting played in front of these thousands of people.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So what's the process of being an artist, of coming up with a hook, coming up with a song, the music? Like, walk us through your process.
So my process, I'm looking at a roster. I'm saying where you from, like where you went to school, your hometown, your name. And then for something like a visual like yours, it's like I'm going through and we're actually watching film. And it's like, being that I played football as well, I can still break down those cover 2, cover 3 different terminologies with football. So it's just like, it make it even more doper because it's like, a lot of football players think they can rap. My man's told me you had some bars. So I want to hear the bars. I want to hear the bars. We gonna hear. Hey, Kato said he had some bars too.
Kato actually has a song.
Him and Dominique Rose said they was in the booth with a dude, Jimmy Mack from here. He had a song called "We Raw, We Real." Yeah. So he had he said he was in the booth. So I'm like, I want to hear it. Like, these are guys that can, like, it's some talented, like, football players, musicians, but too oftentimes we see, like, athletes want to be rappers, rappers want to be athletes. Yeah. It's just like, it go hand in hand. Then when they try to do it, it's just like, come on, Drake don't dribble, Kobe don't rap. Like, certain guys you just don't want to see do certain things.
Nah, that's funny. It's definitely, those worlds definitely collide a lot, right? So it's definitely interesting. Now, in terms of like people like wanting for you to do a jingle for them. Yeah. I know a lot of athletes, right? I know it'd be like a great gift for an athlete or something retired. Like, when I saw, I was like, yo, this is a legacy piece. I'm showing my kids, they're like, Daddy, who that? like, bro, your dad was nice. Like, y'all tripping. So it's funny. But I think, a lot of players, I think they would love to have something like this done. Like, how do they reach out to you, or like what that process look like? Definitely,
man. My team, you can get to my IG, Twitter, and my email, tevinstuddardshow@gmail.com. So you get in touch with me through that way, and we gonna make something epic happen.
Right. And your IG is just Tevin Studdard?
Yep, just my name.
Sweet. Now, I always talk about, obviously coming from IPS. I'm living in Indianapolis. Like, I obviously facing some adversity.
Definitely.
And for you to be where you are right now, I think you're a huge inspiration to a lot of people. Yeah. Right, because I think, and when I talk to people, our youth right now, I think they suffer from hopelessness.
Definitely.
And they don't, like, and if you didn't see your cousin.
Yeah, like, literally. So, and that's so crazy. Like, so I stayed in what's considered, as far as Indianapolis and violence, the most homicide, 46218 out east. So I stayed there and in Haughville. So I'm back and forth between 2 out of your probably top 3 neighborhoods seeing the most violence. So it's just like, had I not seen my cousin do that when I was at a young age, like, kids are getting in the streets 11, 12 years old. Like, they getting recruited, and it's just like, and that's why I'm so passionate about working with kids. Like, I've interviewed, man, at least, when we did the radio show way back when, 400 kids in 4 months. It's just like, all these different kids have stories, but if they're not that top athlete, nobody's going to care enough to hear their stories. Right. So then when they stop playing sports, they go back to what they know. So it's just like, man, to be a platform and a sense of hope to these kids, like, yo, I did it. I came up with the same hoods, same schools. If you see me do it, you don't have no excuse. Because it's just like, success doesn't seem in reachable distance. But they can be like, man, I drove past this dude's house, the same house he had in the video. We lived right down the street from it. And being that I lived on East and West, so it's like, man, I done seen it all. Came up in, like, the middle school that I went to before Crispus Attucks, man, it was so bad. It turned into an alternative school. Wow. But it was an alternative school. When I went there, that's what it felt like. You had metal detectors in middle school. It was just a different environment that we came up in, and it's just like to be like, all right, man, I'm gonna be a man of character and provide hope to these kids. That's something I'm passionate about. Because if I didn't see my cousin do that to me, like I lost another cousin through murder. He was killed in Haughville, right outside of my grandmother's house, and another cousin that's serving life in prison in Terre Haute. Wow. And it was just like you see the path that they made, and you also see the path that your other cousin made. Which one do you want to go down? It's like I love all of them equally and the same, but it's just like it's decisions that we gotta make in order to be. And it's just like I think we speak of the Bible earlier. It's like a man's talent brings him before a great man. So it's just like, but if you don't make the decisions alongside the talent, you don't get these opportunities. Yeah. So it's like I came up with a lot of talented cats, and it's just like the decisions they made, they aren't here. So it's just like you gotta be able to kids make great decisions to one day be sitting on the couch with NFL legends. Hey, that's it. Like that's a dope experience.
It's funny. My attorney, he tells me the story about he has teenager, and he tells his teenager like, man, unfortunately in life, some decisions you don't get a second chance at
all.
and you talked about obviously your cousins and a lot of people that I know as well. Yeah. One bad decision, man.
That's your life. Like
so that's why it's like so important that you really value your decisions, value the research behind your decisions, and actually move with purpose. Man, I appreciate you being on. So last thing, because I think you're really gonna help some people. Even speak to the adults, right? We talked about the kids and them having hope and what you've done by seeing some people like you and you giving back in the hood, Long's Donuts, Indianapolis Zoo, Coach Legends. So what would you say to the adults? Because I feel like there's a lot of adults that aren't really operating in their passion. Yeah. So what is like a clue, or what is something that you found that gave you like that courage to go out there on a limb and like do something that you were passionate about?
Man, it's just the fact that you only get one shot at this thing called life. So it's like, do whatever you want to do with it. And it's just like, oh, I'm in my later 20s and now my biggest opportunities and blessings are happening because I didn't quit. It's just like, we got these dreams. I had an uncle tell me one time, like, most people know what they want to be at 12 years old. Oftentimes, like, people come alongside and deter that. But it's just like, if I got a dream, I'm not letting go of it, no matter how long it takes. No matter the roadblocks, the pitfalls, it's like nothing's worth coming in between me and my dream because this is what I have a vision for. This is, I know the Bible talks about Habakkuk 2 verse 2, write the vision down, make it plain. That's what I'm looking at every day. So it's just like those baby steps. It's that brick by brick, day by day. It's like you got a vision, don't let go of it. You can't eat or sleep or function without thinking like, this is what I want to do. I know what I want to do, so however long it take, you're going to get there. Like, just writing jingles from high school to sit on the couch with you. Like, that's crazy. Like, I used to watch you on TV as an 8th grader and shorty, like, coming up in the city. Like, it's just like, you think of that, that's 15 years. So it's like, I could have been like, oh, man, I don't want to. Opportunities going slow, it's going late. It's like, man, everything going to happen in God's time, God will, if it's meant to be. So it's just like, keep knocking. Like, it's that picture, like, somebody was carving at diamonds and it was like it was right there, but they couldn't see that it was right there. They had just kept carving and kept carving and kept carving. It's just like, man, you got to keep chipping, keep swinging. Like, one day you're going to get your shot. Just be ready.
I love those pictures, man, because it's like on one of the pictures, the dude up top, he's carving and he's like almost there.
Yeah, he's like really right there.
There's a big old diamond behind there, right?
Yeah.
But there's a little dude below him that maybe got this little diamond earlier.
Yeah.
So this dude, instead of like
keep finishing, you gotta
stop and go downstairs to grab the little diamonds.
And he didn't know what was on the other side, so it's just like you gotta know what's on the other side, and like the journey is like it's worth it. Like, keep pushing, I'm gonna keep fighting regardless. Like, this is all I want to do. It's almost, you got to be obsessed with your passion. Like,
that's it.
Eliminating distractions, like, have a vision, like, and outwork everybody.
Man, I love it, man. I love it. So tell us one more time, man. Where can they find you at online? Where can they get in touch with you at if they want to get some work done?
Instagram, Twitter at Tevin Studdard, TevinStuddard, and my email, TevinStuddardshow@gmail.com.
I appreciate it. So we never done this before. I don't know how it's gonna go, man. But I can't have like a rap on here, not like get like a little jingle, a little bar, a little something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know you write songs like 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if you can give us something right quick. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I'll start off with the hook, and then I'm gonna go around the room. So I don't know if camera can see what's around the room. I don't know if they can see what's around the room, but I'm gonna just go off top. So we'll do the hook first, and then we'll go. Walk on undrafted. You want to talk about passion. Super Bowl, get it cracking. This is a story Gary Brackett. And then you have to remember night. Talk about the book Winning Life. On the couch with Gary C. Me. That's a war at IBE. And Connor Cole get the thermal. I see the plaque rocking with the business journal. And then Hanoi set the standard. Said he flexing. He didn't get that from Bob Sanders. And then said I'm about to keep going. Looking at the wall, I keep flowing. Got the flow on full throttle. That's a nice Coach champagne bottle.
Hey, my man, that's off the top of his head, man. So if you really want some work done, holler at him. He gave his information, man. I appreciate you, bro.
All love,
I can't wait to do some work. Hey, the remix, I'm gonna be on the remix. So y'all be waiting out for the remix.
Documentary, movie, it's all coming.
We're getting it, man. But definitely, thanks for tuning in. Hey, share this. Go to like his pages on YouTube. Share all the videos, man. We gotta take care of our own, man. Indianapolis up and coming star, man. I'm just fortunate to have him on my show. Please follow us, like us, share this on your page. Get more people talking about Success Leaves Clues. And if you have someone in town that you think should be on the podcast, definitely drop us a note as well. Definitely want to get some stories on there, some underdogs, and make sure we all feel inspired and willing to be courageous in our own gifts. All right, man. I'll see y'all next week.